Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Dark Encounters and welcome to another live lockdown Lone-vigil investigation here at the Bursledon Brickworks. So tonight I am on my own. I am here in a very dark and very creepy location. It is the Bursledon Brickworks. An enormous location. It once was one of the most important brick building industrial aspects of the area. What once was just nothing more than strawberry fields turned into an industrial site because of the clay in this area. Everybody knows we are now on the Wealdon clay, which produces the Funkley red bricks that have been used right throughout London. Because London had the yellower clay. And then the red clay became very fashionable when it was used in places such as the Albert Hall. So the massive brickworks came about in about the 1890s and turned into this magnificent structure that we are in. Now, the building structure you can see is a whole series of sheds. You can see there's three in that picture. There was actually 4 chimneys in total. Only one is now remaining. And a lot of the sheds are still in situ. I can show you another little picture. This one shows that one remaining chimney, the sheds, which then are connected to a whole series of rooms, red brick, and that's actually part of the machinery room. And inside is a whole series of drying rooms, drying sheds, where the produced bricks were then left dry before eventually, of course, they were put into the kiln. For those who were watching last time, they will remember that, in fact, it was in the boiler room that we had quite a lot of activity. So we have set some cameras up in there. But a lot of building is still we worked on. This is a secret area, which is a little magical area, which hopefully, when the museum opens again and can get some fundraising going on, they intend to turn these into a business development area, put a roof on it, and hire them out as business spaces. It's a magical area. But what we have at the moment is this selection of places. So I said we were going to be looking into the boiler room. So that is what the boiler room looks like at the moment. Very dark, very moody. That's where Tracy and Abby had quite a great time last time. It was very active in that space. But we had some interesting noises. We were some knocks and bangs. And so I put a camera from the other end. That's where the knocks and bangs were coming from. So we'll be watching that space as well. We also had movement in the Penny Arcade. We set up a trigger object and they had moved. So we have set up trigger objects that you can watch all night. So you can keep an eye on them and see whether the strange laughing sailor makes any noises. And of course, then the kiln. Very dark and creepy space. It's looking particularly dark in there at the moment, so I might try and increase the light level in there so you can see. And then I have added a locked off camera, which is the workshop. So again, you can look into that space and see when anything moves. That's in the current level of light. There's very little light in that space. I have additional infrared lighting I will add later as we get a bit darker. So that is the collection of pictures. You can see there are 6 of them in total, including myself. So welcome to everyone who's watching. Welcome to Dark Encounters Live. So hello, Sharon. Sharon's going to be joining us next week at Fort Widley. We will be going live from the investigation next week. And we have just some selected guests who are joining us so we can try out new models of COVID compliant investigations. A little bit tricky, but we will go ahead starting the 1st of August to resume paranormal investigations on a very small scale. Hello to Adam, who's joining us. Welcome back. And Debbie, one of our investigators who's moved down to Dorset. We have a lot of very exciting locations in Dorset coming up next year. And Francine, who knows the brickworks very well. Hello. Hopefully I'll be seeing you soon. Teresa's saying, nice haircut. I suppose, yes, some probably did have a haircut since the last one, such a long time ago. If there's any questions you would like to ask me about dark encounters, about ghost hunting, I've been doing it 15 years, been on a lot of investigations, then by all means do post them up in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. If there's anything in particular you want me to do at the Brickworks, let me know. I can try and move cameras. Obviously, I'm restricted to where I can get signal. It's very patchy in a building like this. But I can do things like improve the light of the kiln, because that seems to be getting darker by every moment. But you can see really how dark it is in this space at the moment. And if I switch the light off in front of me, I'll be sitting here in pitch darkness. So if you've got any questions, let me know. If there's anything either about dark encounters, about the investigations coming up, or anything about the Brickworks, let me know and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you might have. So I showed you this picture earlier. That's how the Brickworks was in its heyday. Quite a sizable structure. And this gives an indication of the kind of workforce that was here in its heyday from the 1890s to the 1910. Obviously, after the First World War, the demographics changed slightly, but it was still active during the Second World War. And it was really until the 1970s that this place then really fell out of use. But any one of these characters, the kind of characters that we might be encountering tonight, they are standing in front of the kiln area, one of the kilns, which I have set a camera up inside that area. So it would be curious to see whether we get any of those characters coming on tonight. So if there's anything you want to know, ask away. If you're enjoying the live, do share it. Give me a thumbs up on the event, on the stream. It helps place it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to switch my camera off and my microphone, and I'm going to put you to look at the front and back of the boiler room and see what you can pick up. I'm going to leave it so that the only speakers going are the boiler room. those who are saying they'd rather watch it, to rather do it in person than watch it on video, that is the general principle of this. Is unfortunately you can't be here in person, and the groups are going to be very small for a long time. So the whole idea is that you can at least watch this on a Saturday night until we can get up and running and we can allow people back into these locations. I'm going to set a night vision camera that's going to record what's going on. I'm going to change one of these lights. Did anybody hear anything in there apart from obviously when I walked in? I'd be curious to know whether you heard anything, because when I was in there was something moving right at the back of the fire camera called the boiler room rear. That's why I've set the camera looking at that night vision camera. I'll be interested to see if it picks anything up. In the meantime, we're going to go over to the Penny Arcade. We have some coins set up. If they move, we will be able to see it, and want to know if the laughing sailor does anything. Debbie said that she heard a scraping noise, so that might be from that. I will switch my camera off and only then play, and the sound will only come from the Penny Arcade. Jolene was asking why she can't hear anything. It's probably because there's nothing to hear. The people did hear a knock, apparently. There are some strange tappings. I've got some tappings over on the wall here. Sounds like something crawling. Donna says it sounded like something hitting paper. Did anyone see anything on the screen? Did a bug drop on the thing? Hayley saying a couple of bangs and knocks. So the reason why obviously the sound goes, I cut myself out so you can't hear me, or the only microphone you'll hear is the one in the space that I'm showing on the screen. So any noise you hear just from there, nowhere else. Right, I'll take myself out and see whether anything else happens. So you're asking if I am here on my own? Yes. See, enormous workshop space, and here on my own. So, if there's anything you want to know about Dark Encounters, if there's anything you would like to ask me, please do comment, and I will do my best to answer the questions. We have a lot of new investigations coming up, all under new COVID compliance, small groups, staggered times, moving around the group, meaning practically lone vigils for most people, so you've got to be brave. So any questions you've got to know, any about strange experiences? I'd like to hear, for example, what your favourite location is. What is the best experience you've had on a paranormal investigation? Let me know. In fact, if you want to come on and join me in the building, you can. I can send you a link and you can pop on and we can see you as well and we can have a chat online. Any volunteers, let me know and I'll send you the link. You're asking what the high-pitched sound was. That is feedback. And the reason being is I've got sound coming from this speaker and I've got another computer over there, which is the live feed for the workshop. So if you look on the far left of the screen, you can see me with a torch waving around. And if I then go back onto split screen, you can see it's me doing this. So that is why. So all I need to do is take out the speaker on that side, and then we'll only just get the one amount of sound. So welcome everyone. I'm asking, what is your favorite location? Where have you had your best experiences? Come on and join me. I'll send you a link and you can pop up in this conversation. What I'm going to do is we are going to go back to the boiler room and see whether... so the light under the door shouldn't be me because I went in the opposite direction. So you shouldn't have been able to see a light from this torch. Kelly was asking. So Kerry was asking. So I'm going to put you back to the two pictures of the boiler room and see what you can hear. So Debbie just asked if I could switch off the light in the boiler room. So what I'm going to do is switch off. Well, I'm close the door and switch the lights off. Hopefully that will work for you. Which camera am I on? This. Just to confirm, I have switched off the lights outside. So any shadows you see now is not because anyone's moving around that area. So there is spirits here in the boiler room. We would love to communicate with you. Could you make a noise? Last time we were here, there was a lot of banging, a lot of stone throwing. Perhaps you could make a sound that people at home could hear. There are two objects near the lights. Can you influence them in some way so that people at home can be aware of your presence? A tapping sound. Knock something. Maybe you could show us your form. Could you show us what you look like? Could you whisper your voice near one of the recording devices so they can hear you at home? If there are any spirits here, please make a tapping sound. Tap on any metal objects around here. Can you copy my whistle? Can you tap on an object like this? I don't know if anyone heard that, but in far diagonal closer to the rear camera, which picked on the moment, there was another tap right behind these two boilers. I'll tap again. Can you tap in reply? Perhaps you could affect one of the cameras. Perhaps you could overshadow them. Another tap to my left. I'm going to leave this space now. Perhaps you can tap when I've gone. You guys carry on listening. I'll go back to the hub. There was definitely another noise then. There was a very strange sound in there. I don't know if anyone else heard that. There was something not quite metallic. Don't know what. Yeah, movement. Jill just said movement. That pretty much sums it up. There was something scraping there. Someone else has heard that as well. Scuffles, scraping. Welcome to everyone joining us. Welcome to Heidi and Donna and Malcolm and Trish. Um, Welcome to everyone joining us. We are live at the Bursledon Brickworks for another live Lone-vigil lockdown with Dark Encounters TV. So DTV, as we like to call it. We've been running these for a very long time. We had a break, but believe it or not, we've been doing this for over 10 years. And way before the time when Facebook Live was allowing it, we used to do streaming over the internet with then Wave 105. That was a lot of fun. So Rob has just heard something like dragging. Hi, Rob. Good to see you again. I'm going to switch myself off so you can listen to the sounds in there. Hello, Sharon. You're asking for the sound. Hopefully, you hear me. The reason is it's literally the only sound you're hearing is anything inside that room. That whatever picture you're getting that's the only sound you're going to get on screen. Any noises, any scratches, basically you're just hearing the natural sounds of inside. So I'm going to go back to the kiln and I'll shut up. Investigation in this space. And we get all sorts of strange feelings. Now, theory, we have this will be subject to residents, push away railway. Resident space on issue for residents. So potentially for the resident space, but regardless of science, we feel very strange. Push some of the things around, feeling that they're being forced around. And then in certain hotspots of activity, people will feel violently ill, actually expect like incredible headaches, or they will be feeling that sense of sickness. Regardless, there are the rumors of people who died. It is an interesting space. Optical and spring voices. Leave this light in. But of course, the problem is that I can't necessarily hear what is being in that space. Just reading the comments. So, sorry I didn't get any of that. What I was saying about that space, let me narrate it again while you can see a better picture. In essence, in that, it's very difficult to look on that picture and understand that space. It is a conical, cylindrical, half a cylinder, and yet it looks very different on there. It's like a cave. So in the kiln, I was arguing that science might argue that it is an infrasound generator. We have a motorway one side of us, and we have a railway track at the other, not often trains, obviously. And both of those are heavy vibrators. They will produce a lot of sound on the infrasound spectrum traveling through the ground. And when you find a resonant space like this, it will then vibrate in there. And the effect it will have on you is that it can potentially make you feel quite sick. It can mean you can get a headache. So Donna said she couldn't hear any of it, and then she's got a headache now. So maybe she did hear it. So yes, one of the anomalies you'll get in there is the idea that people will start swaying. They'll feel very uneven on their feet. They'll start staggering. They will feel sick, and they will feel an enormous pressure on their heads, and they'll need to leave the kiln. So the folklore originating that is that there was death from a cave-in of the brick structure, quite a heavy structure above the whole thing. And another one was that one of the workers, drunk, didn't go home, slept inside the kiln. It was relatively warm. Hadn't realised it was due to be bricked up and fired, and so they sealed it up and fired it, not realising that he was in the back falling asleep and burnt. There is no necessary evidence of any of that, but still, torchlight is changing according to Jill. Be interesting to see what you think is changing. So again, what we're looking for is any optical anomaly that might occur in that space. Is something affecting what the camera is trying to see? Obviously it's quite dark, so the camera will try and autofocus. There's no reason why that white light that's gone in there it should affect. On the far left you have very deep blue, on the far right is medium greeny blue, and then that white is showing up the red brick. So we're looking for any shadows you might see at the far end of that corridor. So yeah, I heard that. The puzzle was I was playing the sound from the boiler room front and back and the arcade at the same time. So I don't know which one of the speakers the sound was going. So let's just listen to the boiler room and hear if anything's happening there. Now I heard that, and the only speakers are on are in the boiler room. So that was obviously from inside. So I might go and visit there and see what's going on. Keep an eye on things for me. So, come in to see if I can see anything that may have dropped, fallen. That. My vision camera is still running. So It's happened. We can have a look. Door's still locked. Still broadcasting. Nothing on the floor. These fallen objects. Right, did everyone hear that? I moved the camera, by the way. But that knock was from the other end. So it was nearer the other camera. A large brick structure. Let me show you around. So there is. These are doors you can't actually get to from the outside. This is the roof. Trouble is, as soon as you move something, you can't put it back. Cobwebs. Cobwebs everywhere. Right, let's hope none of that falls over. But if that does fall, you'll see the light, or at least the camera, fall over. Right, I'm going to go back to the hub. Let me know if anything happens. So that was interesting. When I was in there, there was some kind of scraping noise. There was something potentially shuffling the other end. And then when I was close to the front boiler room camera, there was something right behind you can't see because the great big boiler. Let me get the picture up. Those two boilers are in your way, so you can't see then the far back part, which is where that is. So there was definite knocking. It was from that direction, wherever that was. And who was asking? Someone was asking, how far away is it from where I am? So it's the other end of the building. So the chimney sort of straight ahead of me. The cafe is the far right. Then it's sort of the arcade. Then it's a workshop. Then it's two sets of drying rooms. And then it is the boiler room. So in fact, if I get a picture up, bear with, I'm going for this picture. So we have to do a little bit of rotation. So on that picture, the thing with the white roof, I think has, no, hang a minute. Right, so the thing with the white roof has gone. The back far right chimney is gone. I think the middle chimney's gone. I think because of the railway, it's the left chimney is, and those two buildings is where the kiln is. And so if anything, I'm the top of those runs. I'm in that section, and the boiler room that you saw is probably where the other chimney is, the back chimney. The far right chimney is where the boiler room section is, because there is the remains of a chimney. In fact, I can show you on this picture if I get it back. Just that brick structure on the right is actually, I think, the base of that far right chimney. So that's how far away we are on that. And I am at least the middle chimney, but I think I'm actually closer to the front chimney, the far left chimney. And that is where I am. I think, maybe I'll try and working out where we are. No, I'm wrong. The middle chimney is the one that's still standing. The far left chimney has gone. Those two structures that are running up and down have gone. The white is now where the kiln is. So let me show you the kiln, which is bottom right. I'm talking bottom left, is actually what you can see just about where the middle chimney is. The bottom of the middle chimney, that's where the kiln is. The boiler room is the far right chimney, but that chimney has now gone. So if you look at the two boiler room pictures, and I am currently in the workshop, and the workshop is a little bit higher to the left of the middle chimney, sort of effectively underneath the chimney in that picture. That is where I am. So give you an indication of where we are. It's quite a distance, and that's why it takes me such a long time to get there, out of breath when I get there. So where should we look at next? Let's go and check in on the arcade and see if anything's happening in there, or the kiln, or we can have a look in the workshop. Me again. Can't help but get involved. So someone was saying they've never been. So we look at this old picture. Now, the railway at the bottom right, that railway, the little curvy part, still sort of exists, but definitely the straight line of that is now what the current railway is. And that is still the main line between them. The top part of that, very top of that picture, is now effectively where the motorway is. So the M27 goes right across the top of that picture. The railway goes the other side. And there was and someone did tell me about a lake being there. And it's funny, interesting. So I spoke to Caroline, the manager here, said that she didn't think there was a lake, but this picture clearly shows the top of the far right chimney is some kind of pond lake structure. That was effectively must be almost filled in when the motorway was done. And the top right of the picture would be now where Swanwick National Air Traffic Control is based, on the other side of the motorway, of the natural reserve. So that for those people that have sort of driven past, either on Swanwick Road, which goes far right of the picture, cuts over there, or Cole Park Lane, which is the far left of this picture, then the motorway will cut right across the top of that picture, give you an idea of where we are. Right, I'll shut up now. Carry on watching the workshop. So, people have heard strange voices in the workshop. So I am going to turn this speaker down. Right, let's see if that helps. So, I am doing some calling out. I don't know where you think. Because yesterday, no, last week rather, we were here. This had cobwebs on it, and it's a ton of baby spiders. So there's thousands of baby spiders, and that means there's mother here somewhere. No, mother spiders. So, if there are any spirits here in the workshop, come and let us know that you're here. Can you make a sound? Can you make some whispering sounds? People have heard noises. They said it sounded like a voice. I can't see what you guys are saying, but there's a lot going on in here. So, spirits, you seem to be doing several things at once, so it's quite disconcerting. So, you try to focus your attention, perhaps, in making either one light anomaly or a shadow or a single noise, but obviously you're getting corner of the eye phenomena and noises all in different places. There are times when I do this a lot, you can tell. So very often I have to lock up these buildings, even after the ghost hunting groups are gone. I'm here on my own locking them up. And generally you get used to it. You don't think it really matters, or you get used to the dark and the noise, but every now and then it overwhelms you. And the rationale goes out the window, and you have to realise that you are alone in a building like this, and sometimes you're more worried about the fact that humans might be here, someone else might be on site. So I really think there's someone on the other side of that door at the moment. You can't see the door. And there was a noise coming through there. If there are any spirits here in the workshop, could you make a light anomaly at the back of the room? There was a tap, and then there was a tap. All right, let's not make a light anomaly. Can you make a tap? Can you do 2 taps so we know that you're here? Can you go? Maybe that's too hard. Can you do a little light tap? I'm hoping, by the way that these seem to be rationing things out, that When I ask for light anomaly, I'll get a tap. When I ask for tap, perhaps there was a light anomaly. I don't know. Spirits, if you are still with us here in the workshop, lots of objects you can tap, all different substrates, some plastic, some metal. Can you try and make a metallic sound? Can you tap on any of the doors in here? Can you copy this whistle? I don't know if you heard that at home, but there is a sound of something. It's very distant. Come on, Spirit, we are curious to have a conversation with you. And if you can tap on demand, I should say, then we can start chatting. Could you tap on an object in here? Let me know that you're here, that you want to talk to us. I don't know if you heard that. Okay. I'm going to go back to the hub and see if I can read what you guys have been saying. Right, bear with me. Oh, that was odd. So that's one of those situations where you can't quite describe the environment. Yeah, it was dark, but I've been in lots of dark places. But there was a point when I called out and there was significant movement all around. It wasn't just like, usually it's like one tap, you can focus your attention on one point in the whole space, but this was, it's like moving everywhere. I had that sense of being surrounded. Like, that's really disconcerting when you suddenly feel like there's things everywhere around you. They were like closing in. The point where I'm thinking, am I the only one here? Somebody else snuck into the site while I'm here, which I'm probably more concerned about than any ghosts that might be here. So we are going to stop very shortly. We are going to be here, though, to do a live investigation on the 15th of August. If you would like to come and join us, message us on the group. It's going to be a small select group, just to see what we can pick up. We'll be going live as well throughout the investigation, not the whole investigation. We'll do a little snippet in the middle of it and give an update of how we're getting on. So I am going to let you have a look at the kiln. Let me know if you see anything. Somebody's asked if we could put a penny in the sailor to activate him, but it's not that easy. First of all, to plug it in. Secondly, it's requires a penny. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's call it a night. So I have been in live lockdown at the Bursledon Brickworks. Footsteps, typical. Someone said there were footsteps somewhere on one of the cameras. So it could be anywhere in this building. Interestingly, the second camera has switched itself off, the one in the boiler room. The one that was closest to where the knocking, most activity, has actually deactivated. So I've got to go and work out why that has been switched off, or maybe it's fallen over and disconnected, unplugged itself. I don't know, so I'm going to have to go and find out what's going on. But I think we will call it a night. It's been quiet, but then again, it is very serene when there's not many people here. But when we get the investigators in and their energy livens it up, it all changes, as we just saw last time in the boiler room when it was very active. It's very unusual why there are so many voices in the workshop. That's very odd. But strange enough, we have worked, the very first time we came here, there were voices in the kiln. So maybe it is something moving around. There was a tap over there. I don't like that. Join us next week when we will be live from the tunnels of Fort Widley, if we can get a signal out. If you want to come and join us, let me know. And we will be selling tickets for the Bursledon Brickworks on the 15th of August. Come and join us here. Again, small COVID compliant groups. So almost lone vigils in all the areas we've been showing you. And then the groups rotate round. No one touches anything. No one meets everyone. If you can kind of come in your own bubble, then it makes life a lot easier. But otherwise, we will treat you as all individuals, and you'll be kept separate, 2 meters apart, the entire evening. So thank you, everyone. Have a safe week. Have a safe evening. Hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to come and join me on one of these, we're going to carry on doing them, but in a different format. So if you'd like to come and join, you can sit in these locations. I can talk to you in those places. And in the future, once we start getting up and running, we will actually do multi-site locations. So I'll be like talking to, over Castle or something, which will be quite interesting. In the meantime, have a safe week, and I will see you next week on another live lockdown. Take care. Have a good week, everyone. Bye-bye.